everyone, it's Sharona for Pay or Wait. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Hulu limited series Little Fires Everywhere, Season 1, Episode 8, Find a Way. You know what it should have been called? It should have been called The Read, okay? Red for Filth. That's what they should have called it, Red for Filth. Because, baby, everybody up in here got red up and down. Mainly it was Elena, and then it was Pearl. It was just a whole bunch of people. And then even Elena tried to read Izzy. I was just like, wow. Like, literally so many times in this episode, I had to just stop, pause, and just laugh. Because I was just like, I can't even believe that they just said what they said. But I was here for why they said what they said. It was a fantastic season finale, you guys. It was so good that, like, for one of the rare times when I typically say for limited series, especially when they're based on a book, we do not need a second season. But after watching the season finale of Little Fires Everywhere, I was just like, I am not ready to let go. I need more of this in my life. But for once, I was right, y'all. The Raggedy Kids, and we'll get to them. We're going to say the Raggedy Kids for last. You guys know why I'm saying that, because I don't want to spoil nothing. If you guys are still watching, please hit pause, because I don't want you up in here talking about I spoiled anything. It's a recap. Go watch the episode. Come back. Protect your energy, and we're gonna be good, okay? So I'm actually gonna start with Linda. So this entire season, we've seen kind of what the inevitable was as we figured out more information on the McCulloughs, and then also too on BB and baby Mei Ling. And so we know that Linda, the McCulloughs, they basically had Mei Ling, been raising Mei Ling since BB, their mother, gave the baby up. And so they've been going through the court proceedings since they started last episode. And so now they are on the testimony of Linda McCullough, who is Elena's like one of her best friends. And so essentially I was like, wow, like who is BB's lawyer? Because I was just like, I know that Mia spent all that money, but like he was really doing his job. And it was so crazy because on one hand I was just like, I understood what Linda was going through, and I understood that she wasn't trying to sound racist or anything like that, but the way he was asking her these questions, especially when when they brought up them dang on fortune cookies that Elena had brought to the baby shower, I was just like, you know what? It serves you right for that. For that one, I couldn't let go, but I felt bad because it was Elena raggedy behind who thought that that would be cute in the first place. I was just like, see, this is why you have to check your friends. You have to check your friends when they're being wrong, because see how that came back to bite you, Linda, because you thought it was cute. Ah, ha, 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 fortune cookie. You see how that came back to bite you in the butt? This is why you have to hold your friends accountable. So then we see like he brings up like on the adoption papers that they put a white child, and I was like, yo, like I feel you. However, like obviously you're gonna put the child that you identify with the most, unless there's a button that just says, hey, I don't care, just we want to help raise a child. I don't know what it looks like for adoption papers, but I was just like, ooh, Linda, I felt so sorry for her. Like I was just like, BB, your lawyer is a beast, okay? A beast. And so essentially they ended up, handling everything, the proceedings, basically deliberation proceedings went. And then I really thought that BB was going to get the baby. But what did Bill say a couple of episodes ago? People like them always win. They said people like BB never win. And so you already knew what was going to happen, even though the lawyer clearly did his job. It's just a case of where they live, status, how white people are more privileged, how even though BB did leave her daughter literally like outside in the cold, and I get it, but I felt like the lawyer had made a compelling enough case in order for them to actually go into BB's favor. But it kind of just goes back to what they said, even Moody later on the episode, people like that always win. But we see at the end of the episode, the joke is on Linda. She woke up because she heard Mei Ling crying. Then the husband's like, hey, it's over, like chill, which I was like, okay, but I was like, Lord, I feel like someone's gonna take that dang on baby. And what happened? BB took her baby and got the heck up out of there. So I don't know what's gonna happen at this point. It has to be a season 2 so we can figure out what happened to baby Mei Ling. That's what we need to know now. Like that was actually important. But let's talk about Mia, because actually Mia's storyline really doesn't have that much happening this episode. I don't think Mia really had like that much going on. I'm trying to find my notes to where Mia was at in the first place, child. Okay, So we see that Mia's at the beginning of the episode, she's listening to this, the history of Straker Heights, because she's been working on this art project the entire time. And we've seen bits and pieces and glimpses as to what Mia was actually working on. But we see that she gets on this section about history. And I found it very interesting that, like, they literally paid the white residents to stay and not move away when the Black and Jewish residents were moving in. I thought that was absolutely crazy. And, like, how can you say that you had progress, that you were integrating, when they were literally paying people not to move away so the property value wouldn't go down? And so we see that from the last week's episode, basically Elena told me, Pearl, what was going on. Okay, so she told Pearl, and then Pearl basically went off on her. She said she wanted to speak to her daddy. Give me my daddy phone number. I want to call him. I want to talk to my father. I don't care what you have to say. But I got scared because at first when she came in, she was like, let me talk to you. She's like, what's the point? You gonna lie anyway? I said, I mean, she got a point, Mia. Like, you been lying to this girl her whole entire life. But then when she said that she was full of the S word, I said, ooh, let me have said something like that to my mama. I wouldn't even be here to tell the tale. Jeez Louise. And I felt bad because Mia was actually trying to explain. And let me be clear, because I read my comment section, okay? And I know that people feel like I take up for Mia. I do not think Mia is a good person. I think Mia has had a tragic life. I think that Mia has run away from her problems, which has only snowballed and caused even more problems. But you still feel for these characters because of their circumstances. But I think that Pearl was justified. I just got scared when she cursed him. When she said her mom was full of the S word, I said, you know what, sis? I'm really scared. You lucky that you got one of them free and loving mothers, because if it was me, honey, wouldn't even be alive. Literally, it would be like, Sharonda is missing. Where is Sharonda? And you wouldn't be able to find me. That's how it would have been if I would have told my mama she was full of the S word. I can't even tell my mama she told a story. So that should let you know what it would have been if I would have said that. I'm just saying, just let y'all know. So we see that Pearl ends up finding the flower. She sees the flower because the mom bought the flower and she started making something. And we see that she goes in and looks at it. She sees the burnt pictures of Elena, that she took Elena's medicine, her notes, like all of this stuff. So then she goes off on her mama again. I mean, she went in her mama room and woke her up. I said, ma'am, I wish you would come in my room and wake me up on a good day, okay? It's not going to be cute or pretty for anybody. Then she went off on her again. Then she tells her mom, like, hey, I want to call my dad. And then she says, like, you know, Elena will be happy to do it. Like, maybe I should go ask Elena to do this in the first place. I was like, wow. And even her mom tries to explain to her, like, you do realize that Elena, she might care for you, but someone telling you something like that, knowing that that type of information would actually hurt you, you do realize that that wasn't her caring for you. That was her trying to get back at me. It had nothing to do with you. You were just collateral damage. And I was like, yeah, she has a point, because she knew the information she was going to tell you was going to hurt you. So why would you think anyone that cared for you, like, would really do that, or at least try to find a healthy way, or tell you with their mother? Like, just something. I was just like, sometimes, Pearl, I don't feel like you can really see how the Richardsons be using you in the first place. But let me tell you what I really want to talk about, y'all. What I really want to talk about is Moody and Pearl, okay? Baby, you know, I felt the disrespect at the fact that Pearl had the audacity to be dating Moody's brother Trip, but also to be taking Trip to her and Moody's spot. I said the disrespect that she has. I was really upset. But baby, when Pearl was like walking, just living her best little life, like, I'm finna go smash my boo. When she was walking, and baby, when Moody jumped out of that car, I said, when he jumped out of that car so smooth. Oh, honey, I was so scared for her. Then Trip came running up as well, and they trying to be like, then when she said, stop, let me explain, I'm like, girl, when your mama trying to, like, ask you to let her explain everything and you wouldn't give her the time of day? So I found it highly ironic that she's saying the same thing that her mother's been trying to say to her for the past 2 episodes. But then when he told her, like, I thought you had self-respect for yourself, I was like, wow. I said, drag her, Moody, drag her. So he was like, then he was like, you know, I thought that you Child, I done lost my nose. I done got so into this. I done lost my dang on nose. Let me hurry up and find this. He was like, I thought you were smarter than the sluts who do it with him. And then Trip punched him. I was just like, oh my God. Like, you didn't have to call her a slut, because at the end of the day, I found it interesting that when Moody's having this conversation with, when he's having this conversation with Izzy, and he says, like, people like them always win. They're like prettier people, the richer people, and like all of this stuff. I feel like I saw a spider web. Sorry. And then she was like, you don't own Pearl. Like, you bought Pearl a bike. You were her first friend. And you feel like at this point that she owes something to you. Like, Pearl belongs to you. And I was like, you know what, Izzy, you're actually right. Because I was just like, as much as I'm like, I'm hurting for you, Moody. I do think it's disrespectful that she was with your brother, did it behind your back, didn't even try to have a conversation with you. Like, I can understand the respect and the friendship to do things like that. But you can't be upset because Pearl doesn't like you or finds you attractive like she does your brother. It's not her fault. And so I was happy that Izzy did actually check him on that. I was like, look at you, Izzy. You've been around Mia for a whole season, and then you thinking how you supposed to be thinking. Your head is on the right track. I see you, girl. I see you. So we see that Trip is trying to tell Pearl, like, it's okay, you didn't do anything wrong, this is my fault, he's my brother. And she was like, but I'm the one who kissed you. Like, I initiated this entire thing, so it is my fault. And so then when she's kind of talking about her mother, and he says, like, I would do anything to hold on to you just like your mother. I said, Trip, you still ain't ish. But I was like, look at him. Okay, you got a little game, you trying to spit to her. But then she tells him, like, don't you want to hold on to your brother? Like, does your family not matter to you right now? And so I thought that was real too, because I'm just like, you don't feel like you should go after Moody? Like, that's your brother. Like, you being hella disrespectful. You literally had 15 million opportunities and chances to tell him what was going on. I was just like, all these kids are just basically trash. And so we see that we see towards the end of the episode, after Pearl and Mia, they kind of make up and they kind of talk about all the things. And, you know, I'll get into it a little bit later, the exchange between Elena and Mia, her basically asking Mia to leave. Pearl knows now that they have to leave. They have to let everything go. And Mia's just like, hey, we can definitely go say bye to Trip. Like, we can leave tomorrow, whatever you want to do. And she was like, I just want to remember it as it was, like the good times. But I was just like, no, because your mother is you're picking up your mother's bad habits of running away instead of finding closure or having those discussions with the people that you love and care about. So I wasn't really okay with that decision, but I was like, I mean, I guess I can understand. Maybe it would have been too hard for you. I don't know. But I do like that Mia ends up asking Pearl, where does she want to go? Like, we can go to New York to see your father. Whatever it has to be, like, we'll do it. But she's like, no. I think that did they go to her parents' house? Did they go to Mia's parents' house at the end of the episode? I couldn't tell. I didn't know. Like, somebody let me know in the comment section below if that's where they went. But I think it was nice, like, what she wrote in the book about about finding a way out of our cages. And so I like that the episode is called Find Your Way, and we see all these characters really trying to figure out, like, what their purpose is in this world. What are they supposed to do? What is the best course of action or route for them in order to continue down their paths? And so we kind of see that with all of these characters, and I'll get into the Raggedy Kids and that whole finding your way about what happened towards the end of the episode. But we are going to have to talk about Elena and Bill, because baby, Bill finally gave her the read that she deserved, honey. I was so ready for this. So she wakes up and she realizes that Bill hasn't come to bed. Bill is still upset. We saw then in the last week's episode, he found the bill. He knows that she was with Jamie, and we were given the context of 15 years prior that she left. She went to go try to have sex with Jamie. It didn't work out. She came back home. She dropped the card. And then he saw the evidence, and so that's why he was so bothered when she went to New York and had this whole, like, dinner with him. And so she goes into the kitchen. She sees the Christmas cards that Izzy basically is like, I'm not wearing. And she confronts her, and then she confronts her, and she tells Elena that, you know, isn't that what we do in this house? Don't we just throw things away? her still being upset that her mom cut her out of the Christmas pictures where she flicked her mama off, and then also too putting them in the trash can. And so we see Lexi's crying in bed. Elena finds out what happened. She tells her that they broke up. But I did think it was weird when she was basically saying this is a blessing in disguise. Like he wasn't the right fit for you. And I felt like right then and there, Lexi realized like, oh my God, my family is racist. And I was just like, I'm glad you finally saw it. It's like a little light bulb like went out from her head like, ding, this is what Brian's been talking about the entire time. I was like, thank you for finally like coming to the party. So we also see that she goes to check on Linda, and Linda's not doing well because of the court proceedings. Then she starts telling her, like, let's try to find some, like, dirt or info on her, which leads her to go to her friend's office, who's the OBGYN. And then she ends up telling her, like, basically, like, I helped you get this job. You know, you should give me some information. And she's like, boo-boo, that is not legal. Like, I can't let you weaponize someone's choice to help you with something else. And the fact that you're saying because you got me a job that you feel like I need to do this for you is just as ludicrous. And so she gets called to go to a patient and she leaves. And Elena really is snooping on this lady computer. But what she sees is Pearl's file about the abortion. And so she tries to go in and talk to Bill about this. And so they walk in because after this, they found the verdict and he didn't even really tell her. He called and left a message with the kids to tell her. But she was like, so like, are you not going to talk to me? And then he was like, I'm sorry, is there something that you need? And so she was just like, what is happening? What is going on right now? And then she brings up the fact that Moody probably got Pearl pregnant. And then he was like, no. By this point, she found out about Trip. But then Bill makes a comment like, well, at least Moody isn't paying for somebody's meal. And she was like, excuse me? And I was like, yeah, Bill, excuse me? You gonna tell her what you talking about? My man pulled out the paper, but it's like, boom. Okay, let me do that again. He was like, boom. And then she was looking, she was like, I just don't want to say anything. I didn't think it was a big of a deal to say anything. I said, you don't think it's a big of a deal spending $2,000 on a dinner and that we paying for it? And you don't feel like you need to say something to me? Honey, think again. So, oh, baby. So then she was like, he asked her, like, what about 15 years ago? And I fell out. I was like, oh my God, Bill has finally showed up to the party as well. I said, thank you for reading her for filth. She was just looking crazy. Then my man's left and basically said, they got into an argument and she's talking about her, me. I did all this, I did all that. He's like, I sacrificed everything for this family. And then she was like, I gave him my freedom so you can have freedom. And he was like, what? Girl, do you see the common denominator in all of this? It's you. Everything bad that's happening to everybody around you, it's because of you. You are the common denominator, y'all. Then he picked up his keys. He's like, I gotta go. And she was like, where you going? He was like, I'm going to go find my effing pacifier. I said, oh my God. He did not say that he was gonna go find his pacifier, y'all. I died. That's when I paused. I had to cackle for a strong 10 minutes. I said, my man said he going to get his pacifier. I can't do this right now. I was just like, my mind was blown. So we see that she goes to Mia's house because of course she has to, because he's angry at her. She got to go take her anger out on somebody else. She basically tells her that she got to be out. She ends up seeing Izzy's glove, which makes her even more upset towards it at this point. And then she basically tells her that about Pearl having an abortion. She was like, well, did you not know that your daughter had an abortion? Like she was really spilling the tea. And then Mia looking like this, like, honey, like what happened to you? Did you lose your career, your love? What happened that would make you think it's okay to be sitting up here on my doorstep, basically making disparaging remarks about my daughter, while you can't even see the truth about yours? I said, Mia, you better tell her, you better grab her by her neck, drag her up and down the steps. I don't care who on the duplex. Because I was just like, ma'am, you have some freaking nerve. You really have some nerve. I cannot with Elena. And so then basically she told her after that, she was like, you need to be out in the morning. She was like, fine. Fine. I don't care. Fine. So, yes. So she runs into Pearl as she's leaving angry, doesn't even talk to her. And then essentially we have to get into the story about these raggedy kids. So everyone's been trying to figure out who in the heck started this fire. But first we have to talk about the symbolism of showing Izzy, in the beginning of the episode, when they're young kids, Lexi bossing everyone around, she sees this bird that's badly wounded. And I think it's interesting because Elena freaks out when she comes home, and then they get the bird out of the house. But however, she says, well, at least the bird is okay. And then Moody says, like, once a human touches a baby bird, it rejects it forever. And I was like, that can't be real. I thought that was only like with tigers and stuff. Like, no, they're not going to do that. I forgot to look it up, so y'all gonna have to tell me in the comment section below, is it real, is it not? But she also ends up getting into an argument with her dad, Bill, in the course of the episode. And so I think it really does a very great job of tying into this Find Your Way, because we see that she takes all of the clothes, all of the things that her mother has given to her, trying to make her be someone that she's not. And she puts it in a trash bag and puts it in the front yard. And so her dad finds it, brings it upstairs, and then basically gets into an argument with her and be like, honey, you got 3 years left. Ride out these 3 years, grow the heck up, and just realize that after these 3 years, you can be and do whatever you want to do or be. But he was like, grow up. And he was like, is that what you're doing? And I was like, ooh. She got you there, Bill. Is that what you're doing? Because I think that's pretty much what Bill is doing too. Bill and Elena, they're all kind of trying to portray this family that they think that they should be at this point in time, but that's not really how they feel. They're not really happy. And so I think it's interesting that Izzy is the one who challenges him on this, because, you know, everyone's been telling her, like, you know, in a few years, like, you know, you can do what you want to do. Just find your way. Just figure out what you have to do for right now to survive. But why can't she just be herself now? Like, why is it so hard for you guys to accept letting her understand and know who she is as a person and just be that person for the next 3 years into the rest of her life? But I do like that the conversations I said that, you know, she had with Moody, kind of helping him understand where he's wrong about it. And then also too, she confronts Lexi. I think Izzy is really finding her voice and how to really inflict change, and how she challenges Lexi to basically tell the truth, because it wasn't Pearl, and you know that mom knows this, and you know she's going to try to use this to hurt Mia, and like you're just sitting here allowing this to happen. But then Lexi tells her, like, she's always going to believe me over you, so it doesn't matter what you actually do. And so I like that when Mia goes to talk to when Izzy talks to Mia at her place, and then she sees BB crying on the floor. She goes to she immediately goes to comfort her. And then she kind of has a talk with Mia afterwards, and she says that, you know, BB is going to get through this because she's a survivor. And she talked about how sometimes you have to scorch the earth in order to start over on a fresh new path. And so I thought it was cute when she was like, you know, that's how I would feel if I lost you. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And it's so sad at the same time, because Mia is the mother that Izzy wants, because Mia accepts her for who she is. She encourages her to be who she is, and she doesn't try to force her to be someone that she's not, but more importantly, someone that she's really not being comfortable trying to portray. So we see that after a while, she finds out that she sees Mia and Pearl in the window basically leaving. She sees that all their bags are packed. They drop the key there. So Izzy loses it, y'all. She loses it. She get a gas can. She started putting the stuff everywhere. I was like, I knew she started this dang on fire. And then her siblings come in. They stop her. They tell her no. Then Elena comes in. It's like, what is wrong with you? You are mentally unstable. Like, this is not okay. And then she's basically tells her about like how she's a lesbian, how April was her girlfriend for a year, about, you know, Mia is a better mother than her, like she's actually a mom to me and you forced them to move away. And then basically she tells her that she never wanted her. I was like, oh my God, the kids looking at her crazy, I'm looking at her crazy, Izzy looking at her crazy, and I was just like, wow, you really said that. Now granted, she had above her normal 4-ounce limit, because we saw after that fight that Elena just said she was gonna drink, okay, so she was drunk. But still, a sober man, drunk man's talk is a sober man's thought. So we see that, like, the kids are like, hey, you need to go apologize. Like, what are you doing? Izzy grabs her bag, walks out. She leaves. Moody tries to stop her. She just like, I can't do this no more. I'm done. She off somewhere on a train. I don't know where the heck Izzy going. Then we see that Lexi challenges her mom, like, you need to apologize to her. And she was like, no, like, I hope she goes to find me and they'll be great for each other. I was just like, wow, like, you just really don't care. And then she was like, she's not a screw up. I'm the real screw up. I'm I'm the one who had abortion. You forced me to be perfect and all of this and that. And baby, when she screamed, that scream she had, it really scared me in my heart and soul. I just didn't understand why the scream was so loud, but it was really loud. I was just like, my God, Reese, like you really did that. And so, basically Lexi just loses it, and then she just says like, do y'all want to be like her? Like, this is our mother. She's messed us up. She's messed Izzy up. She made Pearl and Mia leave. Like, what are we doing here? Like, how are we're basically walking down the path that she has laid out for us. And so I find it interesting that all the kids end up setting the little fires, as the guy said, it was little fires set up everywhere while you were sleeping. And we see Moody sets Izzy's room on fire. We see the violin burn. She didn't want to play violin anymore. We see that, all the things that she made her try to wear, she's finding this is her scorching her earth to really start down a new path. We see Lexi's Yale application burn up, and I thought it was very symbolic, showing that all the things are burning are the things that their mother wanted them to do. And so now they are starting their own path of being who they want to be and not who their mother wants to be. And so we see it at the end of the episode that they try to, the officer is like, where's Izzy? Because everyone kind of knows Izzy is their problem child. However, she says that she is the one who started the fire. She kind of takes responsibility. I don't know if she went to Pearl and Mia's place to apologize, but she ends up finding the finished product of she did a remodel of Shaker. And then we see that Izzy actually ended up leaving a feather in the cage as Mia is reading out what Pearl wrote down. I thought it was very beautiful because the cage door is left open. Izzy is going to find her path, and she has finally set herself free. And so, especially when Elena finds the feather and then she realizes immediately that it was Izzy who left it there. I don't know what's going to happen, you guys, but I was pretty into this episode. It was a shame because I was like, I wish all of the episodes could have been like this, because I feel like some of the reveals and some of the people being read for Phil could have been in previous episodes, because I felt like the whole Trip and Pearl thing could have been last week. I feel like the Bill and Elena thing could have been last week. I felt like this really could have been spread out throughout the course of the 8 episodes. I felt like everything was happening in the last episode of the season, which I'm not mad about it. It made it for it. It was a great episode from beginning to end. It was so much happening that every time somebody got read for Phil, I thought the episode was about to go off, but it didn't. I was just like, wow, y'all really gave me my entire life, this entire episode. And overall for me, I still really enjoyed the series. I think that Reese Witherspoon was absolutely phenomenal. Kerry Washington, Tiffany Boone, Anna Sophia, they had so many great actresses. Lexi Underwood. I think everyone did a spectacular and superb job as far as acting in the season of Little Fires Everywhere. I really do hope that they continue on with a season 2, because there's a lot of fallout. BB taking the baby. Izzy running away, Pearl and them leaving as well. I can't wait to see what they do, what they decide. I would definitely be here for a Big Little Fires Everywhere season 2, but I really, really enjoyed this series. Even with the slow moments, with the great performances, it was just really spectacular. And I'm gonna miss you guys. I will miss y'all so much. But hopefully we can find another TV show to bond over. So let me know what you guys are watching in the comment section below. Let me know how you felt about the season finale of Little Fires Everywhere. But as always, my name is Sharana from Pair Weights, and this is my thoughts on Little Fires Everywhere episode 8. Please make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.